Good morning to all of you. My dear children, you must be knowing the people who work to create some artistic things. Those people are called as artisans, and these artisans are also called as craftsmen. And these craftsmen, they are the creators of various types of goods, and they use their hands to create such a unique and decorative items using traditional techniques. You must have seen Mahatma Gandhi to weave on charkha. He used to weave cloth, khadi cloth on charkha. So in society there are so many people who are the good creators, and they are called as craftsmen. Look at here, in activity number one, here we have to give the different types of artisans or craftsmen. They have given one example, goldsmith. The other artistic people are like carpenter or blacksmith, cobbler, tailor, and so many others are there who are the creators or craftsmen who create decorative items using their hands. Like that, weavers are also there who weave the clothes or different types of garments using their hands. They use different designs on it. They weave in a very beautifully the clothes or garments using their hands, and we use them in the different seasons or different occasions. So in the second activity, they have given some clothes, and they have asked us when do we use them, in which seasons or on what occasions do we use them. Like for example, woolen clothes we wear or we use in the winter season, or casual clothes we use in our day to day life, or in the offices, schools, we use casual clothes. Rich silk clothes are used in functions, or when there is some special occasions, as well as colorful and comfortable clothes are used in our day to day life, as well as when there is some function like marriage or birthdays, we use such colorful and comfortable clothes. And all these clothes are made by such artisans using their hands, and they create a very unique thing, and they apply their decorative and very uh, creative minds to create such artisans. Now here we know the people who work for different purposes, and they are called with the different names. Like one who weaves is called as a weaver. Then one who plays a game is called as player. One who sings is a singer. One who dances is a dancer. One who teaches is a teacher. And one who cooks is a cook. Okay. So we have different people who work for different purposes. Now here today we are going to read a very interesting poem in 2.2, Indian Weavers. Now in the previous era, or before we got independence, there were these peoples. Those are called as weavers. Okay. And the composer of this poem is Sarojini Naidu, who was a political activist as well as feminist and the first Indian woman who became the president of Indian National Congress. And she has written this poem, Indian Weavers, which is a short poem where the poet talks about the types of garment that the weavers weave at three particular times of the day. Means in the morning, in the afternoon, and in the evening. That's why this poem and each stanza in the poem, it represents the three important events of human life. Now, what are these events of the human life? The first is birth, that is childhood. Second is adulthood, that is young or youth. And the last one is death, that is oldness. So, childhood, young, youth, and oldness. She also have talked about in this poem about the colors mentioned in the stanza are symbolic and significant as they indicate the different moods related to the events. Okay, she has talked about the colors also, and those colors represent or they are related to the events of the human life, that is childhood, youth, and the old age. And these weavers are working on the that charkha or on that machine of weaving on the different times, at the different particular times of a day, like morning, afternoon, and evening. And these times are very much a symbolic of a human life. Morning represents the birth, that is childhood. Afternoon represents adulthood, that is youth. And the evening of the day represents the old age or the death. So let us read the poem and try to understand and enjoy the poem, Indian Weavers, composed by Sarojini Naidu. Once I'll read this poem for you, and then I'll explain to you one by one. Indian Weavers. Weavers weaving at break of a day. Why do you weave a garment so gay? Blue as the wing of a halcyon wild, we weave the robes of a newborn child. Weavers weaving at a fall of night. Why do you weave a garment so bright? Like the plumes of a peacock, purple and green, we weave the marriage veils of a queen. Weavers weaving solemn and still, what do you weave in the moonlight chill? White as a feather and white as a cloud, we weave a dead man's funeral shroud. We weave a dead man's funeral shroud. So, see this in this poem, the poet has talked about the different particular times of the day which represents the different age group or different steps of the human life. In the first stanza, it is about the childhood, that is newborn child. In the second stanza, it is about the youth, and in the third stanza, it is about the old age or the death. So let's understand and enjoy the poem. Weavers weaving at break of a day. Now, break of a day means the dawn, early in the morning. Why do you weave a garment so gay? Now, here gay means very happily. Uh, at the morning, in the morning, you are looking so happy and very happily singing the songs You are weaving on the charkha or on that machine at the break of a day in the early morning. And why do you weave a garment, the cloth, so gay? Gay means very happily. You are weaving blue as the wing of a halcyon wild. We weave the robes of a newborn child. So in the first stanza itself, we understand that the each stanza represent the question and answer. The poet is asking the question to the weavers, and weavers are answering in the last two lines of the stanza. So the weavers are saying, blue as the wing of a halcyon wild, we weave the robes of a newborn child. We are weaving the clothes or the robes for the newborn child, which are very, very energetic, like wild, like wild halcyon, and which has the blue wings of a halcyon wild. We are weaving for the newborn child, and that's why we are so happy, as the childhood represents the happiness, because there are no responsibilities, there are no burdens, there are no bans and restrictions on the uh, newborn child, and newborn child is very happy, and that's why the weavers are also very happy. So the first stanza represents the childhood. In the second stanza, weavers weaving at the fall of a night means at the time of afternoon or the early evening. Weavers weaving at fall of a night. Why do you weave a garment so bright? Now, the youth is very bright, because in the youth we are studying, we are earning money, and there are so many things. We enjoy our life as we are youth. We get married after some time in the youth, and those are days of youth are so bright, and that's why uh, the poet is asking that why do you weave a garment so bright, like the plumes of a peacock, purple and green? We weave the marriage veils of a queen. So the weavers are giving the reaction that they are weaving uh, the marriage veils of a queen, which are like the feathers of a peacock, purple and green, like the plumes of a peacock, purple and green. We weave the marriage veils of a queen. Here, the poet has compared the cloth of a marriage veils of a queen with the plumes of a peacock, with the feathers of a peacock, using the word like. So it is a simile. A figure of speech is simile, like the plumes of a peacock, purple and green. We weave the marriage veils of a queen. So the second stanza represents the youth, weavers weaving solemn and still. What do you weave in the moonlight chill? See this. In the solemn, silent, and still, unmovable. What do you weave in the moonlight chill? So, the old age, when a human being just reaches to the old age, that human being or that man or woman becomes very silent and still. They cannot move more. Their hair become gray, and their motions or their movements get restricted. They get solemn, still. Weavers weaving solemn and still. What do you weave in the moonlight chill? See this. Now, the age group of old, it is like a moonlight chill. Why it is a moonlight chill? Because like the moon has the white color, that kind of white color or that kind of gray color comes to the hair, and the people are so soft, so solemn and still. white as a feather and white as a cloud. We weave a dead man's funeral shroud. You must have seen the shroud of a funeral. It is also white in color because the old people, they have lost their taste of life. They have reached to the old age. Uh, they have what we can call it. They have enjoyed their life, childhood and youth, and they have reached to the old age now and got solemn and still. And that's why the weavers are weaving, they are saying that they are weaving the dead man's funeral shroud. Shroud means a cloth in which the dead person is wrapped. So they are weaving the funeral shroud, and this third stanza represents the old age. Like white as a feather and white as a cloud, we weave a dead man's funeral shroud.